Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, the tarot I'm going to use, Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. At the bottom here you can see the website llewellyn.com and a couple other social media links. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you need more time to absorb that if you're interested. The Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. There's some information on the back here. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out. There's a website. I'm pretty sure there's websites down here if you need to see them a little closer. There's more. There's ColetteBaronReed.com at the end of that paragraph with her picture next to it. I believe there's a HayHouseRadio.com there, and you could go to HayHouse.com as well if you look up Hay House. A couple other websites at the bottom. There's also about the illustrator, Jenna. There's Jenna's full name. And I believe at the bottom here there's some websites that are geared towards her. Okay, so that's the Oracle cards. And last but not least, the dice. I got different dice now. Can I use the back of this maybe? No, I don't think that's going to work. Well, hopefully this is one of the dice, the 14-sided dice I got for part of it. I'll have to explain that in a second. mathartfun.com. And the bigger dice, the 21-sided dice, this is where that came from. Tom Anders, and then there's a website there. There's a QR code I'll show you in a second if you're interested in this, in case that is of benefit to you. I used the 21. This is going to be the 21-sided dice for the major arcana. It is missing 0 for the Fool, but still I make it work. And the other one is the 14-sided dice, which I use from 1 to King, King being the 14th. Number 14, so as it goes up, 10, 11 would be Page, 12 is Knight, 13 Queen, 14 King, if you're interested to know that. Alright, and with that being said, if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And now, on to your read. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? There's a card pushing out of the deck, so I let it come out. I think things are going to be okay for you. There's definitely confrontation, or there's calamity or something, discord around you. I don't know that it's going to be direct for you, but I think it's something you need to be aware of is what's going on. Yeah, see, there's something going on around this situation where there's trouble. There's people who are just aggressive against each other. I'm not really sure how much you're aware of it. I feel like you must be a little bit aware of it, but like to what depth is the question. Yeah, okay. So, ironically, I think we're going to start with what's going on around you. There are people who are aggressive towards each other. These people, I think if you really get into the depths of it, these people are like setting each other up. Like it's kind of like tit for tat. Is that how you do it? Or you know what I mean? Like they're setting each other up. They're constantly egging each other on. They're pushing each other's buttons. This is just one of those one-up wars that you don't really need to have. You don't really need to deal with, and it's not going to make you happy, especially when you realize what's going on here. It's just kind of like they constantly do things to tick each other off. Especially because I'm getting like this here with it. Like they're constantly doing it. If you want to spend the time and figure it out, that's your business. Clearly, that's your business. But they're saying your talents are better used other places. If they want to do this to each other, you've got better things to do. So whatever's going on around you, if you're aware of this weird like aggressive energy two people have, or maybe a couple people have against each other, they're thriving off of it. Like, it's weird. Like, they literally, like, it's almost like they get excited about how they can screw the other person over next. They're not interested in solving it. They're just more, it's like they get this high they get this high off of it. Again, your talents are better used other places. Self-sabotage, causing, okay. And you could be dealing with a Leo. Doesn't have to be, but I didn't want to say it because it doesn't have to be. This is somebody who's very strong and just, they say things before they think about it. It's not always a bad thing, but sometimes it is. But like, they keep perpetuating the situation. They just keep perpetuating it. Can't seem to help themselves. That would be more of an out of control Leo energy. Very random sometimes. They're just saying, if you feel like you need to, you got to do what you got to do. But again, we keep coming back to the fourth time. I feel like this is annoying. Talents are better used other places. Now, let's focus on where you are effective. There are people who actually do treat you well and who do see you for the value you have. I feel like Libra is one of those people that doesn't happen all the time. Depends on your life. Maybe you have more than not. Maybe you're lucky in that sense. But this is centering around somebody who's kind of like, maybe is more quiet about it, but kind of like, Libra, I got your back. Libra, I know you do the best you can. I look out for you. You look out for me. We'll be okay. I know you're trying to do the right thing. I want to help you do the right thing. I want you to help me do the right thing. This is somebody who's very like, all right, Libra, I see your value, and I want to stay in line with you. I want you to stay in line with me. I want to like, let's be good with this. This might be somebody. It's very easily, this could be a work situation, doesn't have to be. But, it's kind of like, it's almost like a secret friendship, almost. Like, maybe once in a while you do hang out with this person privately, but people don't know that. Even if this is a family connection or something like that, you might have, every now and then you might just have you and them just hang out somewhere, or maybe you go on a trip somewhere and people don't realize the two of you are hanging out as much as you are. Something. Like, I feel like for some of you, like, I take a day trip with this person once in a while, but people don't know that. Or like, I'll spend 3 to 4 hours like at a mall or at this location, or we'll do things together. People don't realize we're together. People don't realize we're doing things together. And I feel like I'm doing that purposely, because I don't need the issues. And they don't either. They're just kind of like, we learn more things without people realizing how tight we really are. I don't think there's a problem with this. I think we're just addressing it to help you identify who it is. There's a strong reason for it, though, is what I'm getting with this Nine of Wands. Yep. There's a really good reason for it. I think it's depending on what you feel, which is fine. You just need to know what you're talking. You just need to know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on for this part. There's also like there are adversities around this other than the one I was just talking about. There could be jealousy issues or people just looking to cause problems. And that's one of the ways we sidestep that. If people don't know, if that person or people don't know what's going on, we don't have to deal with them creating or making up issues that don't exist. We don't have to even deal with that. It's fine. I don't see a problem with it. I'm wondering if maybe it bothers you sometimes, like, oh, is this... No, I feel like there's no problem with it. I think it's completely fine. This is what I'm getting from it, so... Alright, so what are we heading into? What are we heading into? Something goes awry. Such is life. Such is life. Now, when something goes awry, your ally or this person that you care about, this person that has your back, you have their back, we just keep it on the down low. It seems like it's affecting that other person directly. And I feel like it's upsetting them. But you have their back. Okay. It just randomly happens. They're upset about it. It's coming on the dice. We got the Knight of Fire reversed, and we got the actually we got the Empress on the dice as well. So it's kind of like this is against the Empress. It doesn't have to be a female, but it could be. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. This is against the person that you are connected with. You see the way out of it. I feel like you easily see the way out of this. It's kind of like, oh, good friend, I know this. Here's how I suggest you handle it. I'll do what I can for you. Cool. Easy. I feel like this is like no sweat. No sweat, easy for you. I don't see it being hard for you at all. You handle it the best you can. Success happens here. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open in what sense? You want to kind of drill this down to the root of it. Where did this come from? It seems random. You got a lot of fire making it look like it's random. Part of it maybe, but it came from something. Where did it come from? It's kind of like, the cat ran across the table and knocked a vase off and broke it. It seems like a random moment. Why was the cat upset? Why was the vase on the table? Those things we want to look at. Okay, it's a random moment. The cat lost. They're cool. They freaked out. Cats freak out. But what triggered the cat? And why was the vase on the table? That's where we want to go. That's where we want to go. I feel like you're going to find out something that you don't really want to find out, but you need to find out. Kind of like, somebody threw something at the cat. Somebody was just being mean to the cat and threw something at the cat. And I'm like, oh, somebody was just being nasty to the cat. I don't like that. And then the vase is kind of like, why was the vase on the table? It's kind of like the vase doesn't really belong there. Was somebody washing it? Was somebody moving it? Like, why was it there? No, somebody put that vase there hoping it would get knocked off because they don't like the vase. So they put it there and then tried to see if they could find some way to break the vase to get rid of the vase. Maybe they didn't realize the cat was going to do that, but they weren't against it. Or maybe that's why they threw something at the cat, to try to get the cat to do that. And it just worked out in their favor, if you follow me. It's kind of like, oh, that seemed totally random, but was that more of a setup? It's something I'm like, I don't like seeing it. It's like, oh, really? Like, we're doing that? Really? People do stuff like that. I mean, unfortunately, it's more common than not. It's weird, and it doesn't always work out the way they want it to, but, usually backlash isn't most people. But still, this might be one of those times where it didn't. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. You know what I mean? If you find out what you need to find out here... Okay. If you find out what you need to find out here... You're not trapped with it. But okay, so... I'm going to have to, get other people involved... And I'm going to have to see if there's other incidences of this. Does anybody else know what's going on? This Three of Pentacles is kind of like... I'm not trapped with it, but I feel like I need to understand where other people sit with it. Does this make sense? Is this a one-off? It's not. But, is it a one-off? I'm hoping it's a one-off. It's not. I need to find this foundation of this, have other, in the sense of not just this situation, but the foundation of this person. Is this normal for this person to do these type of things? How do other people feel about this person? How have other people had to deal with this person who I can see what they did? What are other people's feelings? Now, what they're saying will not go well if you decide to do it, which, take it with a grain of salt. You got to make your own decision, obviously. Don't take more of a inquisitive role and kind of to see where it goes. Taking the more, I just want to get the facts. Let me be very peaceful about it. Ironically, peace is Libra's thing. You want peace. That typically is a Libra thing. We want things to be fair, but we want things to be peaceful. We want to work out a way to find peace. We want to even things out in a peaceful way. I'm not a Libra, but that's where you would want to go. taking more of a like, I'm just going to kind of sit here and see what comes next and just kind of see what develops next is not really working. And even asking for small help, just kind of like quietly, like just, I don't want anything to happen, but just keep your eye out on that. That's not working either. What they're saying to do, I'm going to refer to this as the big guns. I'm going to be sure, I'm going to roll the dice on this. It does seem a little brutal. I don't think it's you being brutal, but it might be calling on the big guns. It may seem a little bit like overkill is what I'm worried about too. The Tower coming in, half out, and then the Page of Fire reversed. Page of Fire reversed. And the Page of Fire reversed is kind of like something starting small that it's kind of like somebody starting a fire and then walking away and relying on somebody else to put it out. It's ironic because I'm just like, oh, this sounds really nervous. And the Tower is the Tower. It's half in, half out. Like, not having control about what happens next. How bad it gets, I have no control over. They're saying call on the devil with the Three of Swords, which I know that sounds horrible. I know it does. But they're saying this situation needs to be nipped in the bud. And this is kind of like fighting fire with fire. Giving it to the appropriate person, showing them what you've got. I don't think they're going to drag you into it. See, I don't see them dragging you into it, but I feel like whoever this is, once they see it, it's like, I keep getting this analogy of calling on the big guns. Once they see it, they're not going to be nice about it. They're going to be like, oh, that's completely unacceptable. We're not doing that anymore. And they're going to be very upset about it. When the devil is angry, sometimes it talks about Capricorn energy, just to be fair. It's a rule that energy has harsh boundaries. You play nice with the devil plays nice with you is kind of how I usually go about that. But if you cross the devil will be mean to you. Like, they make a point that you know not to ever do that to them again. And you won't forget it. Swift and severe consequences is kind of how that goes. That is not something that Libra is usually a fan of. But I'm getting somebody's taking this very, very seriously. I know it sounds hard to go that way, but what I'm getting is like, there's going to be like a lot of work to make sure that this is actually what's happening. They're not going to take it lightly. They're going to look into it very deeply. They're going to look at all the history. They're going to look back at everything that's gone on. And they're going to really they're going to make this person accountable for everything that has happened. It's in their control after that. Once it's been put where it needs to go, it's going to stay where it needs to go. Whoever this person is that did what they did to create a problem, like the person that threw something at the cat to knock and set up that vase for the cat to knock it off, they're never going to get out of the shadow of what they did. They're never going to get out of the shadow of that. This person is always going to be scrutinizing them. Always. They're never going to get out of the shadow of that. And I understand that might be very difficult for Libra to... It's an information reading. If it's hitting, if it makes sense, it's up to you if you go this way or not. I totally respect that. Like, readings are for entertainment purposes only. We all know that, don't we? I just feel like that's hard for you, but I'm also getting that maybe, some people need that. People who, play underhanded, it might teach them to stop playing underhandedly, because if they're going to have everything they do scrutinized, as long as they're here in this situation, they're going to have to play a little bit more carefully if they want to keep their position with whatever they're doing. It makes it less likely that they're going to get away with doing something like this again and causing problems for people who don't deserve it. The situation will solidify that way. The King of Pentacles will not back off. They don't understand give up. You tell them give up, they're like, I've heard of this concept. I don't do that, but I've heard of that. They don't do that. They don't give up. They're not gonna. Down the road, whoever this person is that's causing the discord, they're gonna step up every now and then and try to do it again, and they're gonna get judged for it. This is weird. it's going to like reflect right back on them. It says non-judgment on here. I feel like that's your role. That's not for you. You're not going to have to deal with it, but it's going to go right back on them because I'm getting this mirror energy, like it goes right back to them. Whatever they do, they're accountable for. I don't think it's about judgment because it says non-judgment, but I feel like it just feels like whatever they do, it comes right back on them immediately. I keep looking at that word non-judgment, and I disagree with it. I feel like anything they do is going to come right back to them. I really do. I don't think they're going to get away with anything after this. I feel like what they're saying for you, I don't think you're going to judge it. Maybe that's the thing. To just step back and just like realize that people are doing what they need to do, and that's going to balance itself out in a harsh way. Whoever this person is, the troublemaker energy, it's almost like everything from their past coming back to get them slowly but surely. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like that's how that's going. I don't know. Hopefully this reading is empowering. I can see how this might seem a little extra harsh to you, but again, if this reading is hitting, it's your business how you handle it. Are we good? Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.